Welcome to another edition of Office Hours with Stanley Hainsworth. That's me. And this is Mark Kielburger and Craig Kielburger. Now I'm kind of giddy right now because to get both of these men in one room is pretty much impossible. And before I tell you why and all that, I have to do the song. I have to do a song. And so I'm going to sing you a song. It's enough warning, I guess. The song must be something that's compelling, yet generous, yet touching, and all those things. So let's see. Craig and Mark Kielburger. Brothers in arms, brothers in fame, brothers in education. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, Craig and Mark Kielburger are two of my. You know, it's hard to when you're an older gentleman like I am. I have several years on both these men, and I don't have a lot of heroes in my life. I have a lot of people I admire, but these two men are heroes of mine. By what they've dedicated their lives to and what they're doing. Now, Mark and Craig are how many years apart?
5 years. 5 years older and wiser.
5 years older. So tell me about when you were 15, and Mark, you were 20, and Oprah Winfrey gave you a challenge. Tell me about that.
I think I'm actually the only person in the history of Office Hours to be back twice. Not just once, I'm just saying twice. I'm a repeat guest in this. So I'm going to hand this one to you.
So it was an amazing experience. It was the year 2000. Oprah was doing a show on young people changing the world. And how Oprah does this is, of course, she has the young people on in terms of the segment, and then she comes and gives them a gift or a moment or whatever that might be, and then everybody claps, and then she goes to commercial break.
Right.
And this was a remarkable experience. So the first young person was on, and she was talking about dealing with bullying, and the opportunity was that Bill Clinton came on live from the White House to congratulate her, and then everybody clapped, commercial break. Craig was number two, and he was talking about his passion with the work that we do of our We Villages movement to help young people have a chance to receive an education. And so we talked about building schools. And it was about $10,000 to build a school, and a young person from Pompton Lakes, New Jersey came out with one of those big checks and said, Craig, I heard your story, I'm so passionate, I just built a school. Everybody claps. Oprah looks down at this young man and says, oh my goodness, I'm so motivated by you. And she says, I would like to help. I would like to build 100 schools. And she looked and she said, we'll be right back. At which point, I think people were taken aback by this. She hadn't made a substantive international gift from our knowledge up to that point. And so it was an amazing challenge to fulfill building 100 schools around the world. And not just building 100 schools, but doing them in the best possible way to making sure that all these schools were built with the opportunity, integrity to make sure that schools would be around for many, many generations to come. And it was what propelled us to become the organization that we are now in terms of our work on international development.
Wow. So you had to do basically what you all have been doing all along, figure out how to get something done. Because you've never done anything on that scale before.
Never. Well, we have now had a chance to educate over 200,000 kids. 1 million people have received clean water, 30,000 women with microcredit cooperatives. It's been an incredible scale and lots of journeys.
These men travel like hundreds of days a year. You're home infrequently. You have a family. How do you divide up the? Because I know there's so much overlap, and I know this might be common in other co-run businesses, but is it who's best at it, who's closest to the problem, who's available? Because you deal with multiple time zones all the time. What's your division of because I know you have official responsibilities.
So we divide it. I get to do all the fun stuff. He gets to do all the hard work.
I love that answer. Is that true?
Yes, actually. No. Craig has his moments as well. But we divide based on geographies, but also what we're good at. So I love spreadsheets. I love working with teams. I love board governance. I love having the
bless
opportunity.
you.
Thank you. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. I had a chance to meet your wonderful operations person today, Stanley. There's a role and a lovely place in the world for people who love spreadsheets.
Yes. Well, you need someone like that because
Yes.
there's been an amazing growth
Yes.
in your organization. You know, the cool thing about being brothers and working together is that you kind of worked out because I've been with you both individually when you're talking to the other brother on the phone. And I can see a little sibling stuff going on there, like, yeah, okay, all right. Keep, those things.
yes,
So,
yes.
but there's also that deep respect and love that you see all the time. So I'm sure, like many brothers or many siblings, you have that deep best friendness to it, but also a little irritation, here or there. It's like, so it's really interesting. What's been really interesting for me is to work with both of you, in a board capacity, so in kind of official capacity. And seeing you go through spreadsheets and go through strategy and all those things. But then you turn into like a superhero when you get on stage. So We Days are amazing. You have to see a We Day. And We Days are a place where you all become just like amped up, by 20 times. What's that like because you've done it many, many times now. You've been to many We Days and you've led many of those, you've rallied many thousands and thousands of kids at those. What's it like when you run out on stage there?
We Day Seattle will be our 65th We Day. Hard to believe that we'll be marking through the celebrations.
65.
Yeah, in fact, today is the 21st anniversary of the starting of the charity, literally to this day. So how
Wow,
does it feel?
congratulations.
Thank you. How does it feel? God, the stage shakes when we're out there, when you got that many kids who are that passionate around changing the world. And you get to see like every young person there who is excited and passionate, jumping and screaming. The fact that they had to work so hard to be there, that's the most amazing thing. Like they all have their own stories of tackling bullying or helping the homeless population in their community or standing up against child labor or taking on an issue like racism, or like they each have their incredible story. And we know how hard it was because we were that same kid. We were a teenager. We wanted to get involved. We know it wasn't easy. And so it's just this incredible respect and gratitude for these incredible kids, and we get to celebrate them. And so it's so much fun.
And heroes on stage, like heads of state and humanitarians, and we just celebrated We Day LA. We had Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato. We even had Kermit the Frog join us. Kermit the Frog.
Peak of We Day.
The peak of how
Some
do you get
people would
more
have thought,
excited
others
than
would
Kermit
know.
the Frog?
The Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Fawns.
And the
of course.
Fawns, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Fawns.
So lots of, it's not easy being green.
Well, the We Days are amazing, and all the actions and everything that you do are amazing. Just tell me what it's like when you explain to someone like you do, because you have to say to them with a straight face, we is a movement to change the world. So do you get rolling of eyes? Do you get seriously, you can't possibly, it's a drop in the bucket. Do you get that?
We get.
Or do people believe you?
Well, one is we've had somebody incredible help us along the way in terms of how do we explain this passion, this energy, and for that we are very grateful. But for us, it's about the most dedicated, passionate young people. If we can get them engaged and we can have a chance to recognize them and honor them and thank them and see their passion, it's just about creating a collective. Like when we started We Days, it was what we needed when we were in high school, because changing the world was the uncoolest thing you could do. It was the uncoolest thing you could do. Nobody wanted to change the world in my high school. And so here's an opportunity to come together with like-minded people.
Or guys.
Especially at an all-boys high school. But nevertheless, it was a challenge. It was really tough.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is now changed.
Now
it's now
cool.
changed. It's the coolest thing you could do.
And that was the goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To create helping others, the passion to change the world as something cool.
Cool
That's
and
amazing.
possible.
That's amazing. Well, thank you both. It's just such an honor to always be around you. And I have this bad habit, or it's like an involuntary response. Whenever I'm around these two, I start crying. I mean, Craig was just in my office a minute ago, and we were talking about strategy and brand strategy, and I started tearing up. It's just, I don't know, it's something about you men and what you've how you've devoted your life to this, and all my family, and all the millions of people that you continue to touch and inspire to go out and do good in the world. So thank you both. All right, everybody, thanks very much. Thanks, Mark and Craig.
Thank you.